Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is on how to make a jilbab with sleeve. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, endeavor to tap the subscribe button and tap the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. So that's how jilbab will look like after sewing. So let's get started. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using 3 yards of fabrics, my scissors, my chalk, a piece of paper to take measurements, my tape rule. Then the first thing I'm going to need is my front hijab length, my back hijab length. So for this tutorial, I'm working with 50 inches for my front length and then 58 inches for my back length. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold my front length. That means I'm just going to fold 50 inches in 2 places. So it's just like taking my tape to 100 inches and then folding it into 2. So I have 50 inches at both places. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to subtract my back hijab length from my front hijab length, which will give me 8 inches. But since this hijab is actually going to have an hijab cap, so I've just subtracted the hijab cap measurements from the 8 inches. So at that front part, I'm just going to go ahead and fold 5 inches. So I'm just taking my tape over it to be sure that I have 5 inches there. Then after confirming that, I'm just going to fold it into a triangle. I have a video on this. I'll put the link in the description box for you to check it well so you understand better what I'm explaining. So after folding into a triangular form, I'm just going to start inserting my front hijab length measurement, which is 50 inches. So I'm just going to chalk 50 inches round. So after chalking, we should have kind of like an arc like that, a semicircle. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to cut it out. So after cutting it out, we are going to have that. So the next thing is just to make our sleeve opening. My sleeve from my head part to my wrist is 37, but I want to have a sleeve like that I'm putting on, which is going to be 10 inches. So 37 minus 10 inches, that's 27 inches. So I've just come down from that point by 27 inches. And then I'll take my round sleeve measurement, which is 10 inches. That is 10 divided by 2. So I'll just chalk 5 inches. Then after chalking the 5 inches, I'll just make a small curve. You have to make sure that the curve is actually small so that it won't be too large for your sleeve opening. Most especially if you are using a stretchy fabric. So when you open it up, your sleeve opening shouldn't be more than that. So that's for our hijab piece. The next thing is to cut our hijab cap and then our sleeve part. So for my hijab cap now, my head circumference is 20 inches. So I'm just going to confirm if I have 20 inches there. So I have 20 inches already. Then I'm just going to fold it into two. I already folded it into 2 before folding it into 4. So I'm just opening it for you to see what I did earlier. So I'm just going to fold it into 4. After which I will take my hijab width measurements, which is 4 inches. So by the time I sew it, I will have 3 inches. So from that point, I'm just going to make a curve to the edge of the down parts. I'm just going to cut it out. So that will be for our hijab cap. So the next thing is to cut our sleeve. So to cut our sleeve out, you take a round sleeve measurement. So mine is 10 inches. And then your wrist measurement. Mine is 7 inches. So the fabric is, the pattern paper is folded into two. So at that point, I'll take my wrist divided by 2, which is 5 inches. Then I'll add 1 inch seam allowance. Then at the wrist part also, I'll take 3.5 inches and then add 1 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to connect those points. So after connecting, I'll just come in there by 1 inch. And I'm just going to make a slight curve to that point. After which I'm going to cut. So that's 10 inches. Then if you want your sleeve to have a band like the one I'm putting on, you just take your fabric and fold it into two. So after folding it into two, you just confirm the length you want. So this is about 2 inches. So by the time you sew it, you'll be left with about 1.5 inches. So the next thing you're going to do is to confirm the measurement of your wrist and then insert it at that point. And just cut it out. That's if you want band. So the band is going to stay at that point. So you just join it to the sleeve. So I'll just place this now on my fabrics and then just cut it out. The jack cap and then the sleeve. So I did that already. The band, the sleeve band, the second one, and then the cap. So the link to the sewing tutorial is in the description box. Endeavor to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in my next video.